So I'm just going to wait for a minute or two because it's not quite 1 o'clock. But if you're here now, welcome. So if you have landed on this page, welcome. This is the page of the Canadian Association for Bioenergetic Wellness. And it's on this page that we want to share with you some tips about health. We want to encourage your curiosity as to how your body has been so beautifully and intricately designed, and that it is programmed for health and healing. And we want to ultimately as well give you options for how to handle health issues that you may have. There are a lot of ways that we can encourage health, and we don't always get that information easily. So we want to make this a forum that is easy for you to access. So it is live right now. We're Thursday at 1 o'clock, but it will be recorded so that if you land upon this another time that's more convenient for you, you can hear it. True health is really about the big picture. I know we are programmed to think in terms of symptoms. I have a headache, I have arthritis, I have diabetes, I have whatever, you name it. And we think of our health in terms of a symptom. And the fact is that your body works together in all sorts of ways and wants to maintain balance and health in every aspect. So not just getting rid of the headache, but getting rid of something else as well, being robust and resilient. And health isn't always about never getting sick. Although I must say, if you are healthy, it'll be less likely that you will get sick. But it's really about your body to withstand some of the assaults that come your way, whether it be bad news that comes your way, or an injury, or a death in the family that you have to deal with. There are so many ways that we can be assaulted and jostled and affected, and all of those things affect our health. I want to give you an example of health, and I'm going to use a musical example because I am a musician. I play piano and Celtic harp, and I have to tell you that there is no better feeling than to play an instrument and have it play in beautiful harmony where every note is in tune and the sound is utterly glorious. Now, you may not be a musician that plays an instrument, but perhaps you have gone to a concert. And I'm going to use the example of a symphony orchestra. My husband is a trombonist, and he used to play in a symphony orchestra. That's where we first met. And at the beginning of an orchestra giving a performance, the concert master will come out, and he will point usually to the oboist or to the first violinist, and they will play a note. Usually it's concert pitch A, and the whole orchestra, all the musicians will tune to that note. Why do they do that? It's not just a warm-up. They're actually wanting to play the same note together so that the rest of the notes will all sound in tune. They want to be in consonant, or ultimately they're going to be playing in harmony. So as you know, in a piece of music, there will be different parts playing. There will be, sometimes some instruments are not playing at all. They're waiting their turn. You've got the string section, the brass section, the woodwinds, and they all have different parts. But when they play together, you get the most exquisite harmony and sound, and it is truly lovely. Well, our bodies are a lot like that. There are different parts that play different roles. And when they are functioning really well, you have resilience and calm and ability to withstand the assaults of life that might come your way. The fact is, we get out of tune. The fact is, there are many things that can come our way that are stresses. And just back to the example of piano, I bought a new piano last year. It was new to me. It was a secondhand piano. But the previous people who owned it did not keep it in tune. And with any kind of instrument, you need to have it tuned, usually about twice a year, because when the season changes, you get different temperature, different humidity, and that will affect the tuning of the instrument. So anyhow, I bought this piano, super excited because I got a great deal on it. But when I brought it home, it was already out of pitch when I bought it, because the people hadn't had it tuned. But when I brought it home, I didn't realize how many more tunings would be required before I could play it and be totally enjoying the sound. Well, 4 tunings later, I have a beautiful instrument. It keeps its pitch now, and not to say I won't have to tune it. I will have to tune it probably in the winter or in the spring. We'll see. But I can sit and I can play music now, and I'm not cringing when I hit a certain note, because everything is just beautiful and it's in harmony. So I want you to think of your body as an instrument. All the little parts working together to make beautiful music in you. And I want to tell you that you have the potential to make beautiful music, and you likely are already in a number of ways, but your tuning and your pitch might be off in certain places, and that is where I come in, or people who do the kind of work I do. So my expertise, and it is growing, is called natural bioenergetics, and it's an approach that addresses the whole body with the understanding that you have an electrical system, an electromagnetic system that is very vital to function well in order for you to experience this harmony. It's hard to explain exactly what I do right now in the short time we have together, but I want to give you an illustration from a client that I worked with, just to give you the example of how when we addressed one part, something else was affected. So this client came to see me because she had struggles with eczema and digestive issues. And that was her prime concern. That is what she said. That's what she wrote on her client intake form. And we had energetic permission to go ahead and address those things. And we worked on them for, I can't remember now if it was weeks or a couple of months, and she was getting better. But one day, I hadn't seen her for quite a while, and one afternoon I got a text on my phone, and she said, "Sandy," she said, "I can't believe it, but I'm sitting in a plane and we're grounded. We have to wait in the plane for a couple of hours before our plane takes off." I don't know what the reason was, but she said, "I'm sitting here, and for the first time, I'm relaxed. I feel calm. And the only thing I can attribute it to is the work that we've done together." Well, I was delighted to hear that, and excited to think that the tuning and the work that we had done in another area of her life to address digestion and eczema actually affected her calm, her ability to breathe deep and be calm during what was before a stressful situation. That's part of the mystery and wonder of this kind of work, when we are open to addressing the big picture and all the little pieces, all the little players that have a role in our health and well-being. We can be surprised, and things can smooth out we can have results that are more than what we thought we could get. So I don't know where you're at, but there certainly is a lot of stress right now in the world. And if I was to use another analogy just to help you understand that there are stresses that affect our health, and they can be from without, things that we have no control over, things that just happen, and things that happen within us, the way we respond. Both angles contribute to stress for us. I want you to have in your mind right now the vision of a little canoe or a kayak. I like canoes. I grew up in a place in north central British Columbia where there's beautiful lakes to canoe on. So I want you to think of being in a canoe on a big lake, or maybe you're in a kayak on a big ocean, and you're wanting to get from here to there, and you've got your line in sight, and you're heading that way. And lo and behold, a big motorboat comes whipping across the water, and you see the waves coming, and you're thinking, oh no! So you either have to adjust your canoe, or you just have to hold on to the gunnels and take a deep breath and hope that the waves don't push you over. There's all sorts of watercraft that can jostle you and make waves. There are a lot of things in life that can make waves and can provide stress for us. It could be what you read in the newspaper. It could be what you read on social media. It could be that phone call you get from a needy parent, or a needy child, or a friend. It could be a sudden death of someone close to you. It could be job loss. There's so many things that we do not have control over. But what I want to tell you is we can control and affect how we deal with it. And that's what this kind of bioenergetic wellness is about. It's about strengthening you and making you more resilient to be able to withstand some of those stresses. So those are the outside stresses. The inside stresses, I want to give you an example of a waiter. So we've all seen those waiters who amazingly hold all the dishes on one hand, or they have a tray and everything is just, all lined up, and it's amazing that they hold it. Well, I want you to think of yourself as somebody who's holding a tray, and the inner things that you deal with that could be some of these thoughts that you have. Maybe you have a repeating thing that you say in your head that you can never do this, or you're no good, or why does everything go wrong, or maybe some sadness that you're continuing to process, and it's very difficult for you as you reflect back on what's happened to you. Or it could be other things. It could be things like conversations that you've had, and things. I guess when I think of internal things, I'm thinking of those things that have remained stuck in you. They also might be allergies, or intolerance to things, or being ultra sensitive about certain things. It could be physical, or it could be emotional. But when that tray gets too heavy, it's very hard to carry. And with natural bioenergetics, we are able to actually take those things off the tray, help you to do that. And we can help to discern where it is we need to take some of that load off. And when that load is lighter, it's amazing how much more harmonious or resilient you can be. Just like my client who had difficulty with her digestive and eczema, when we dealt with that using a number of different angles with diet, and she had some allergies and then some emotional things and psychological things that we were able to address. But when that was dealt with, lo and behold, her tray was lighter, and she was able to then respond in a way of calm in a situation that was typically anxiety producing, which was sitting in a plane on the tarmac waiting to lift off. I realize that we are at the end of our time here. It's 15 minutes. And I've only just broached the subject with you, but I hope that you will just consider the ways in which you are feeling stressed and know that that stress can be dealt with. You don't have to keep holding on to it, and you can find a specialist here on this Facebook page that can partner with you to help you be all you're created to be, so that you can be more harmonious, you can be more resilient, and you can handle the stresses that undoubtedly come from within and without. Before we go, I'm just going to show you a quick tap that we do with people in natural bioenergetics, and it's called the thymus tap. So if you want to take your right hand and put it over on your left chest, it's going to be opposite to what I'm doing, I believe. It's going to look opposite, right? So you can get your right hand, left side, just below your collarbone, and you're going to go up towards your throat and around in a circle. It's about the width of your hand. It's called the thymus tap. It's a quick little way to give you a quick tune up, kind of like a cup of coffee too, without the caffeine. So just do that and take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your nose. Enjoy the rest of your day. Feel free to make comments, or if you have any questions, do put those in the chat box below, and feel free to also inquire about being on our newsletter list, and we'll send you out information and ways to keep connected. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.